Hey guys, and welcome back to another new Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel. Now if you're watching this video, you're most likely anticipating or excited about Animal Crossing updates. And I don't know about you guys, but when I see an update trailer drop in my subscriptions feed from Nintendo, I just get so excited I have to jump on Animal Crossing immediately and get myself up to date with all the latest information. Now, a question that I've gotten a lot recently in my comment sections on social media, and I've seen lots of people discussing in general, is when can we actually expect these updates to happen? Is there a sort of definitive time or timeline where we can expect updates to drop? So I've decided to take a look into this. I've decided to do some investigative work. So I'm going to go over when you can kind of expect Animal Crossing update trailers to drop, when you can expect the actual updates themselves to appear, and more. So if you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. Now, as of me making this video, the most anticipated update that we're currently waiting for, that so many people are just speculating about when it's going to happen, what they want to see from it, etc., is of course the late January update, which is going to include Festivale and perhaps other interesting things as well. Now, this is just one in many Animal Crossing updates. We've seen literally so many now. So I've decided to sort of investigate when these updates actually appear. And I've created this sort of infographic going over all the different timelines for when the update trailers have actually appeared online and been uploaded by Nintendo. So let's take a look at that. So this is the infographic that I've created, and it sets out a few patterns that are really interesting, which can kind of indicate when update trailers for Animal Crossing New Horizons actually drop. For example, one really interesting pattern here is that for the most part, these updates always happen around the end of every month they come out on. There's usually a bit of a space between them. There was one exception to this with the June and July, but usually it's a space of about 2 months. So we kind of have to wait about 2 months for every update. That seems to be the pattern they're going for. These updates seem to happen at 1 PM pretty much every time in this time zone. However, again, there is one exception to this, with the most recent being at 2 PM. So let's go over these. We have the April update, which was really exciting, the first major update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. This introduced leaf and bushes and all kinds of different things. It was really exciting. I believe it also introduced art. It feels like such a long time ago. I mean, it almost was a year ago after making this video, which is crazy to say. But yes, this came out on April 21st, a Tuesday at 1 PM. The next update after that was the June Summer Wave 1 update. The only time we've seen wave updates, but I guess this could happen again. We've only seen so many updates at this point. This came out on June 25th on a Thursday, again at 1 PM. This also introduced things like swimming, which was really cool. Now, the next update after this was, of course, the Wave 2, so it didn't come out too much later than it. It came out on July the 28th, another Tuesday following the April one, again at 1 PM. We have the Fall update, which came out on September 25th, which happened on a Friday, once again at 1 PM. Then we have the November update, which is a really interesting one for a certain reason that I'm going to get into very soon. This happened on November the 17th on a Tuesday, and this one actually happened at 2 PM, which was the only time any of these trailers have actually dropped so late. So if you're waiting for an update trailer to come out, these are typically the kinds of things you can expect. Either to see it happen at the end of the month, to see it happen close to when an event in-game is going to happen. For example, the Turkey Day one is a perfect example of that. And also, perhaps on a Tuesday, usually at 1 PM, but it could be on 2 PM as well. So that's kind of what we can expect for the January update, and perhaps future Animal Crossing updates as well. Now, as you can see by this tweet from Isabel, which is something I highly recommend, by the way, you should definitely follow Animal Crossing on Twitter and YouTube, and Instagram too, why not? Because if you're waiting for trailers to come out, having notifications on for these accounts will help you see them right away. Nintendo is going to post them before anyone else. As far as I know, unlike with some other games, there are no other websites or anything that get information about when these trailers are coming out. Nintendo just drops them when they're ready. So you want to make sure you're following Nintendo and keeping up to date with all of their social media channels. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to draw attention to this tweet from Isabel is because it actually kind of shows us how soon the updates actually drop after seeing the trailers. So as you can see, the actual updates tend to appear a few days after the trailers drop. So whenever the trailer drops for the update, you can expect to see the actual update come to your Nintendo Switch a few days later, so there's not too much of a wait there. This Halloween full update was really interesting because, as you can see, it actually dropped in late September, yet Halloween, as you guys know, happens on the 31st. So the gap between this happening and the event that it was kind of themed around was really long, which is super unusual for these updates because, like the next one we're going to go into, these updates usually drop around the time of a major event happening. A really interesting one was this November winter update, which introduced some really cool stuff like Jingle Toy Day, but it also introduced Turkey Day, an event which happened later on in November. Therefore, they had to put the update out on November the 17th, or they wouldn't have had enough time to actually prepare everything and have people play and update their games in time. So that's kind of why the November update came out so early compared to the other ones. Even though the 17th isn't the earliest date, it's still earlier than all of the others, and the reason for that is because it came out in time for the event to actually happen in the game. This could be the case with the January update as well, because Festivale, I believe, happens on the 15th of February this year, so they're going to want to put out the update before then, but there's still plenty of time for them to do it. Basically, they don't have to rush too much to put these out. That's why they've put the late January date, and that's why they put the late November date on this one, even though this wasn't really late November, it was more like mid-November when it came out, so you can't always trust this terminology. It's best just to follow the kinds of patterns that I explained earlier. Now, talking of free updates, this infographic, which was kind of shown during the Direct for Animal Crossing New Horizons way back in February last year, showed us that these are the main characters we can kind of expect to see come back through the game's updates. And with Pave being added with Festivale in the January update, he's the last one that we can actually expect to see added for all the major events in the game. So it's unknown what they'll do with Animal Crossing New Horizons events from this point onwards. They may change up the schedule, the events may take longer to come out, it might not be every 2 months, it might be quicker now, who knows. We certainly can expect more updates, though there's still plenty of content left in the game that has been data mined that will come out. For example, we know the Mario event's coming out, that's not even data mined, that's just confirmed, so they'll have to do some kind of update for that if they don't include it in this January one, and I'm sure they'll do some stuff for the game's anniversary in March as well. So I think it's fairly safe to say that after the January update, the next major update should be sometime around March, so that just gives you a bit of a hint as to when that could happen. Well, I really enjoyed taking a look at when the updates come out for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Sadly, there is no definitive answer for you guys, but this gives you a much better idea of when to expect them and what kinds of patterns they actually follow about dropping. I'm sure this next update will completely change the pattern somehow, kind of like the November one did by coming out at 2 PM, but who knows, I'm really curious to see, and I think maybe when they get even further on and have even more updates, it'd be good to revisit this and take a look to see if there's some kind of even more evidence to the pattern basically, so I'll be sure to check that out. I want to give a big thanks to my channel members, the Bob's Gang, for supporting this channel and the content I make. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button or the link in the description to become a channel member. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, exclusive content and posts, and so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. My links and my merch are in the description, and you can check out 2 more Animal Crossing videos and a playlist on the right side of the screen. So thank you for watching, and catch you in the next video.